G'day guys. I read about the data breach for Latitude Finance, and if you can see, I've got that open on my computer screen at the background as well. And I thought I'll dissect a bit to see what exactly sort of happened. I mean, based purely on what I can read through on the internet. And the reason for this video is primarily just to see if we can understand and improve I guess, the cybersecurity posture which we've got all around us. So the main couple of things which I saw is like when I'm reading at like what exactly happened. So it says that it said the attack started from a major vendor the company uses, which the ABC understands was essentially a backend infrastructure provider. Now, what this is telling me is that whoever or whatever their backend provider was in terms of technology or infrastructure that got breached. Now, I've also shared a guide and a previous post as well that in this day and age, every time when you're trying to um, choose your providers, for example, let it be your IT provider, let it be your cybersecurity provider, let it be your software provider, you need to understand um, how well protected they are. Are they doing their own cybersecurity analysis or not? What protocols and procedures are they following? Have they done some sort of assessments? Have they done some sort of network assessment or penetration testing, we call it? Or, there's a lot of information available on the ACSC website as well. So I think, I'm not sure if that was done or not, but by looking at the report, that's how it started. So let's go to the next step is those credentials were then used to steal customer records and driver's license from the two of the Latitude's service providers. So the credentials, sorry, before that, it says the Latitude says that the hackers then obtained the login details of a Latitude employee. Now, what this is telling me is that so they must have used their own machine or whatever machine they had to use the login details of a Latitude employee. Then they got access to all of that data, which again tells me that by the sounds of it, it must be a really important Latitude employee who would have gotten access to that information of credit cards and driver's license and other bits and pieces. So a person or an employee within the organization who's got access to that critical information, um, it appears that there was no multi-factor enabled, because if multi-factor was enabled, then perhaps it could have been blocked at that level. Um, all right, so now someone got the details, multi-factor was not enabled, and they logged in from an outside network, which is another problem. That why was the network not protected, or why was the infrastructure or the details were not set up in a way that if even if the employees are working from home, they should only be allowed to log in from their devices. That didn't happen. The login details were shared because of the vendor. And then lastly, it it appears that there was no like an incident response plan or a policy in place, because customers or their clients don't know whether they have been breached or not. There was no sort of detection in place in between when the data was getting breached. Then when they noticed the breach, then the clients are not getting involved. So what we need to understand is that the cybersecurity as a whole is is it's like a set of different layers. And just by looking at this article on the news, it appears that a couple of those layers were not protected properly. So the whole purpose of this video is to of understand about how we can improve, how we can learn from these breaches, these incidents, and make sure that our systems are secured and it does not happen. So if you are listening to this video, thank you very much, or watching this video, I should say, thank you very much. But just do an audit about your operations. Just have a simple checklist in terms of what you guys are checking or what you guys are not checking and all those sorts of things. If you need any help in that checklist on what to check, leave a comment below, and I'm more than happy to share how we audit our systems and our client systems. Bye for now.